Hello and welcome everyone. We're here with Bow Live and Florida Closing and Escrow. Brokers, opens, and tours worldwide can help you promote yourself, brand yourself, and your listings. We do live and virtual tours, and you also get a playback link that you can share on your social media, email, and more. And we're here today with Florida Closing and Escrow. One of the expert real estate attorneys, Anthony Bauza, will be presenting today. And as most of you know, they are located with their main office in Sunny Isles, but they are mobile, multilingual, and have an expert team that assists you from contract to closing. They are wireless, digital, paperless, and remote, and 24/7 available to assist you with your success and to close more deals. So today, the subject is the legal updates on leases. So Anthony, if you'd like to begin, and then I'm going to do some brief market and marketing updates.
Okay, yeah, so there are some legal updates regarding notification periods for leases in Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties. To start off, just to give us a basis so we know what's being changed, as of prior to these ordinances going into effect, there has always been a notification period for termination of leases. So that is a Florida statute. It's to be precise, it's section 83.57. And this statute basically has notification requirements for tenancies without a specific terms, which is basically what you would think of like a month-to-month tenant. So there's no written lease in place. So the law requires, based on the payment period, so if the tenant pays on a monthly basis, that would be a month to month. If they pay on a quarterly basis, that's quarter to quarter. And if they pay on a yearly basis, that would be year to year. So for year to year, 60 days notice for termination. Quarter to quarter, 30 days notice of termination. And for month to month, a 15-day notice of termination. And either party, either the landlord or the tenant, can give this notice because there is no written lease in place. The other factor that's in these new ordinances is regarding rent increases. As of now, there's never been any notices required for rent increases, and that's one of the changes they now made. So the changes in Miami-Dade, effective March 25th, requires landlords to give tenants a 60 days notice whenever they'll be increasing rents by more than 5%. In addition, they also have to give this 60-day notice if they are terminating a month-to-month tenant. So all the other notification requirements stay in place for year, quarters, but month-to-month does change. So whereas previously it was 15 days, it's now 60-day notice to terminate a month-to-month tenancy. And in addition to that, if you're going to be increasing the rent by more than 5%, you also have to give that 60-day notice. So if you're increasing it less than 5%, you're good. You don't have to do anything. But if it's more than 5%, then you do have to go ahead and give the tenant that notice. It's important to note here, though, that there is no law saying that you can increase it. So you are entitled to increase the rent, and the tenant doesn't have to accept it. You can very well just choose not to renew that tenant. That tenant could reject that increase, and you could charge whatever rent increase you want to any future tenant. But then that future tenant would also be subject to that same notification period if you were to increase it yet again. This also does not affect any termination of written lease agreements. So if you already have a written lease in place, the lease end date is on the lease. Also, if there's any already pre-existing clauses regarding renewal, so if you already have a renewal structure in your current lease that says we're going to renew it It's going to go up X percentage for the next term, and any other term, you have that already in place. That does satisfy the statute, because the idea is just to give that notification to the tenant. Broward County also in May passed a similar ordinance. So they also have the notifications of 60 days for increasing rent by more than 5%. They also, for termination of month to month and quarterly tenants, they also are going to be requiring the 60-day written notice. So that's a slight change from the Miami-Dade, which only covers month to month. Broward, for quarter to quarter, you also now have to give the 60 days written notice to terminate. Palm Beach is the last one to join kind of this Tri-County area here in South Florida. At the end of August, they just passed, very similar to the date in Broward. It still hasn't taken effect. It's likely before the end of September, but the same thing, 5% increase in rents requires a 60-day notice. And also terminating a month-to-month lease will require that 60-day notice. An interesting thing to note, though, in Palm Beach counties is that it is also based, it's affected by different cities, because cities with their own governments, such as the city of Boca Raton, Delray Beach, and Boynton Beach, can opt out of this requirement or create their own. Also, basically any other city, though, or unincorporated sections of Palm Beach County will have to follow this new order, but we're still waiting on the details for that to be finalized, but it's expected to follow very closely to the Miami-Dade and Broward requirements. So definitely this is something to think about for any agents that represents landlords or tenants. There is these new notice requirements, and it's a good idea, especially since now it's 60 days if you are planning on increasing the rent, or if you're trying to get a month-to-month tenant out of the unit. You now have to give that extra time. So it's a good idea to, in planning of your property management, to take that into consideration. Whereas before it was, only 15 days. Now you need to be aware and cognizant of it. And it's just anything written. So it could be written, hand delivered to the tenant. It could be posted at the property. The best bet, the good advice is always to be able to have a proof and tracking of it. Send it certified mail, return receipt, and as soon as it does get delivered, you'll get a slip back in the mail saying that it was delivered to that address, and that's proof that you were in requirement with the new ordinances and notification requirements. So those are the legal updates that I have regarding the leases. Any other changes and any other updates that do come out, we'll be on the lookout and we'll update again.
Thank you so much, Anthony, for that great information. And again, we have expert attorneys, John Iowano, Anthony Bauza, multilingual, to assist you from contract to closing, an expert team who will do contract draft, review, and addendums for you, and are available to answer any questions and assist the agents and the buyers, sellers, investors, and residential and or commercial closings. So now I'm going to give a few updates. Another interest rate, 75% points happened, and this was instituted to help put the brakes on inflation. It makes the borrowing money a little more expensive, though, a lot of buyers are still, closing with cash. And the soaring cost of land has developers saying they can only justify prices if they build condos on properties, which is affecting a little bit, the amount of affordable housing. However, the market has softened a little bit and gotten a little more balanced out. And the Latin American buyers are helping South Florida real estate because they're wanting to move and diversify their money, and real estate is a great place to move it to. People from Colombia in particular and also Venezuela. Actually, the Venezuelans are at 14%, the highest percent now buying here. And then Argentinians and Brazilians are each at 11%, Colombians 8%, and Mexicans 5%. Actually, per NOR, about 30% of international real estate transactions in Florida are now international. Brazilians are buying average properties at the price of 440,000, Venezuelans at the average of 400,000. So investors are also spending upwards of $2 to $3 and $4 million. Many, again, are cash buyers with cash closings, which does affect a little bit the first-time home buyers, which it's now 27% versus 40%. In 2002, 12% were cash buyers. In December, it was up to 42%. And also, there has been a consistency of New Yorkers stampeding to South Florida in record numbers, swapping their Florida to Florida licenses. There were 5,838 in August, the highest number in history. And year to date, 41,885 New Yorkers handed over their licenses for annual renewal here. And it was thought that with COVID on the decline and the cities opening up, that would decrease, although it really hasn't. And in the United States, the top 5 states that people have been searching are Florida, number 1, then Texas, then Arizona, Maryland, and South Carolina. And they're fleeing mostly from California, New York, District of Columbia, Massachusetts, and also the most searched metro destination. Number 1 is Sacramento. Number 2, Miami. Then Tampa, Las Vegas, and San Diego. The metro that they're leaving the most rapidly from is San Francisco, and also LA, New York, and Boston. And one of the most recent new developments is on Fisher Island. The Related Group was involved in a waterfront 65-acre luxurious condo project that will be built on land that was purchased, or I believe, for $123 million. They will be building 50 units, and the units pricing will be starting at $30 million, and the penthouse over $60 million. So the market in Miami and Florida is still very, very strong, with numerous people searching and moving here. So that's good news for the Florida real estate market. And again, Florida Closing and Escrow is happy to assist you with your transactions. And BOW is happy to assist you with marketing. And we have additional tools as well. Digital targeted AI marketing. You choose your audience, and then campaigns could be set up, including digital campaigns and postcards to targeted markets to brand yourself, buyers and sellers, for lead generation. There's also a new tool launching for absentee homeowners. If you want to contact me for more details, but basically it will have services including monthly inspections of the property, hurricane preparedness, errands, transportations, housekeeping, and other services for the absentee homeowner. So please contact me for tools to assist you with your success. Cindy Mirapol, BOW, Brokers, Opens, and Tours Worldwide, 786-457-6832. And Florida Closing and Escrow, 1-800-FL-CLOSE. And Anthony, you want to add anything about the market and what you're seeing as far as closings and of late?
Yeah, so I think what you mentioned is right on point, right? So There is a softening. I think it is balancing itself out. And I think South Florida is a unique market because we still are attracting those out of country buyers and investors, lots of South America. Like you said, Venezuela is one of the number one as well. And I think that's really what's continuing to keep this market going. We do have that's still that stream of out of country foreign buyers that are coming to this country for various reasons. A lot of it is investment, related to investment and immigration visas. A lot of them are, trying to get out of their country for, whatever
Political
political
climate.
reason.
Right.
Exactly. And they're looking to invest. They're looking to put their money in a safe place. Real estate is a very good investment. And I mean, South Florida, what's not to like about it, and lots of these Spanish speaking South American countries, at least, you can come here to this country and, you have everyone speaking your language. You have these little enclaves of your people essentially. So you still have that cultural aspect that still survives even outside of your country. So it is a good attraction. And that's what's still keeping, I think, our market going right now.
Yeah, as well as the out of state people fleeing here for various reasons, including the weather, tax reasons, and more. So we have the right ingredients, and we would love to assist you with your title and closings. So thank you. And I would like to wish those celebrating Rosh Hashanah a very happy, healthy, and successful new year ahead, which starts sundown on Sunday. And again, we're here to assist you 24/7 with your success. So we look forward to hearing from you. And thank you for joining us. And kindly contact us if we can assist you. Thank you, Anthony. And John will be next time presenting in 2 weeks. So thank you again.